Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Guess who, y'all? It's PG coming to you live and otherwise on a Wednesday evening. Y'all, I took a bit of a break, been kind of under the weather, um, mentally and physically, and a little, I don't know, oh, just a little bit of life's ups and downs. That's all. But hey, I'm topside, so I won't complain. Anyway, y'all, we have a lot to talk about this evening. Hope that you are all doing well as can be on this hump day of a day or of a evening. Some are just beginning their day and some are ending their day, about to lay it down, lie it down, lay it down, or go to bed or whatever you do at this time of the evening. Where it is, my time is 10:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Other places it's 9 o'clock. Other places it's 7 o'clock. So and in other places it's before or even after. So I can't complain with that. I just want to say thank you guys for sticking around and looking out for me and being here to help keep me steadfast and straight and on the straight and narrow, and continuing to lift me up in encouragement. With my YouTube channel and everything. I don't know. I got a warning that I wanted to talk about just briefly. Said that on one of my little chit chats, it was a Friday night, I think, chit chat, and you know how I kind of recommend some helpful little money saving applications and what have you. And in doing so, um, there was a few things that popped up that said that I was in violation. And one of them was when I gave my referral code when and if someone wanted to join Swag Bucks. And to my knowledge, that has never been an issue before. I don't know if someone got a case of the red ass and decided to report me or whatever. But anyway, YouTube seemed to have flagged the content. But I'm not, too worried about that. I am in the process of writing an appeal because this just happened. I just got a little email a couple of days ago, and I've been a little hoarse. This weather here in Georgia has been up and down, and everywhere, as you guys know, it's been raining in some places in the U.S. It's been flooding. It's been cold. There's been blizzards. There's been snow. There's been, you name it, we've had it. Um, and so I guess now, it's my sneezing and allergies and sinuses, and I'm hoping and praying that when I go to the doctor tomorrow, that they don't tell me that I have the beginning of bronchitis, because I do have bronchitis, chronic bronchitis, several times a year, and it really, really puts me down. Gets me really down. No matter how I try to jump on it ahead of time or what have you, it really gets me. It gets me down. A person who suffers from asthma, um, chemical induced asthma, and just asthma over the years as I've gotten older, really wreaks havoc on me. But with that being said, I'm not going to continue to harp on that. I'm just glad that I am here and I am as well as I can be. I have a bit of a raspy voice, and y'all please excuse that. I sound really nasally and I feel like crap, but I wanted to come on and say that you guys, I've been thinking about you, and also thinking about some content that I wanted to cover. Y'all, so much has happened in the last couple of weeks. I mean, there's like a plethora of things that I could jump on, but right now, y'all, the first, excuse me, the first thing I want to address is it's very near and dear to me. I want to give an update to a friend of mine who I said that had a stroke. She is now out of the hospital and has a long road of recovery, but hopefully and prayerfully, of course, God is a healer and He's an awesome God. He's an on time God. Yes, He is. And that she can regain her speech back, or at least the majority of her speech back. She came out of it not being paralyzed, but her speech is kind of slow to come, but she does hear okay, and she does understand what you're telling her. So it's just kind of hard to go and visit with her and to see a brilliant woman, in a situation where they become so frustrated because they really want to tell you something, or try to converse with you, and they can't. So they've been writing things down, and that's a good thing with the tablet. And sometimes the letters are kind of turned around and different things, but for the most part, you can pretty much kind of figure out what they're trying to tell you. She's going through a bout of depression, which is, they say that is very common. And I hope that eventually she will be able to get on something that will help ease that, because she's really going through a tough time, and she is on the kidney donors list. She does need a kidney, and we're praying that she can stay strong enough and as healthy as she can be at this stage, in order to receive a kidney transplant. But I just wanted to let you guys know that she is out of the hospital, and she is doing some outpatient therapy. And in the next month or so, she will be transitioning from one of the places, Grady Hospital here in Atlanta, from their outpatient therapy over to Emory Hospital's stroke rehabilitation therapy. So that's going to be a good thing. And I continue to lift her as well as her family members up in prayer. And I haven't gone over to see her in the last few days because I've been under the weather myself. And I don't know if it's a cold or what it is that's coming on. And I certainly don't want to infect them with any of my crud. So with that being said, I just wanted to give an update as to my friend who did have the stroke. And I really appreciate people who did reach out to me and who continue to lift them up in prayer for me. So I really like to say thank you very much for that. Now, folks, moving right along, the next thing that I want to address is this is near and dear to me because y'all all know that I'm from Louisiana, the boot state. Yes, I am. I'm just the old Cajun BOI boy, or old coon ass. That's right. But I don't know, for some reason, y'all know we just celebrated Mardi Gras. And Mardi Gras for us rolls a good 30 to 45 to as much as 60 days. Continuously with parades and festivities and balls and other activities, depending on how the crews do their thing, because each crew is different. But I know that New Orleans has made the news several times already, and I want to say to the families of the victims who were injured and the two people that lost their lives doing a couple of float incidences, who tried to cross, and then I think this gentleman was actually shoved, or with the crowds. The crowds are very thick, very large, and a lot of times you don't have to be doing anything, and those crowds literally can move you kind of in the wrong direction. And yes, they have barricades and stuff like that. Sometimes in different areas, barricades, because of the way the streets are, sometimes the barricades cannot be put up on certain parts of the parade routes. So what you have is, it's pretty much you conduct yourself accordingly. And all the time, folks unfortunately just don't do that. I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but it's very unfortunate. And I got into a heated discussion a couple of days ago with someone who has never been to Mardi Gras in their life, who's only been to New Orleans twice in their whole lifetime, and wanted to tell me that based on what they read in the news said that New Orleans needs to do a better job with Mardi Gras. Now, times change, people change, tradition hopefully will remain the same. We're already in New Orleans alone has lost some of its tradition from when Katrina hit, and the million plus people that we once had in that city, in that metropolitan area, did not come back. They're under 1 million people strong. And I'm talking about all of the outlying parishes and all of the parishes that have to come up through New Orleans to even evacuate or to get out of harm's way when they evacuate that city or neighboring areas when there's flooding or when there's inclement weather or severe weather approaching. I will say this though, y'all. As far as New Orleans doing a better job with Mardi Gras, I beg to differ. Um, because New Orleans has had Mardi Gras since the early 1800s. I mean, the late 1800s. And this is during the time when there was no electricity. There was not even really running water in houses and stuff. They paraded the streets at night still with by candlelight and by kerosene, what they call coal oil. And yes, those floats were big, but no, they weren't monstrous floats like we have now. No, but Blaine Kern, the illustrious float um, builder, is known all over the world, and his Blaine Kern Studios, his children and grandchildren or whomever, whatever generation they're on. Actually, I knew Mr. Kern before his passing. Um, they have always had the biggest and the best floats. People borrow those floats all over the world. People commission them to build floats from all over the world to this day. And they've always had the safest floats and the up-to-date technology and those big, huge earth movers and those humongous Kubota tractors that you see. And I'm not talking about miniature Kubota tractors, y'all. I'm talking about Kubota tractors that are tall, as almost as tall as some buildings. It's, in fact, just as tall as an average single-story building. People driving those tractors and pulling those floats. Some of those floats can hold as many as 1,000 riders. And I'm not telling you what I fucking read. I'm telling you what I know for a fact. I'm telling you from my perspective and from my purview, having ridden in many a Mardi Gras parade on some of these floats in certain crews that I participated in over the years. I'm just sorry that, accidents, y'all, happen. I mean, accidents happen at racetracks. Accidents happen, look at that helicopter just a little over a month ago, dropped out the sky, was carrying Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and 7 other people. Accidents happen, y'all. So, was it said that all helicopters need to do a better job while they're flying in the air carrying whomever? No. Accidents fucking happen. They happen all the time. That's why they're called accidents. One of them, from my understanding and from all of the little research that I've done, and I spent about 4.5 hours researching the first lady to lose her life last week, I think it was, or the week before. She actually tried to cross between the tandem floats. And anybody that's been around a long time with Mardi Gras, and now I know that I'm older. Certainly, everybody doesn't stay the same age, and as we thin out, and as we go away, and as we go on to glory or wherever, then they're younger people. But why, I don't know why she decided to cross. Maybe it was said that people that she knew was actually parading in that parade on a particular float, and instead of her being on the right side of the float to see her people waving or to give teddy bears or whatever, she was on the wrong side. And so she haphazardly, just with adrenaline and the rush and everything, the adrenaline going, she decided to take a shortcut, because when those floats are, I mean, they're huge. There's no way around them. she decided to go in between two tandems that were connected together. And the person that was driving, of course, they're all the way up front, and they may be they're pulling, of course, the first, and then they're connected together if they're tandem floats or whatever. They cannot necessarily see what happened on the third part of that float back there. They can't necessarily see. They just can't, because the floats are so big. Some of these floats take up the width of a fucking street. I'm talking a large street, like yeah, that wide. So I don't know. It was an accident, and I feel sorry, and my heart goes out to the victims' families. Unless I'm gonna lift them up, continue to lift them up in prayer that they continue to be able to go forward and be strong. And it was an accident. No one sets out to lose their life at Mardi Gras. It's the biggest free show in the world. No one sets out for that. But even when I was coming up, people would die trying to cross, or they would get drugged underneath the float. The crowd would be pushing, or moving, and it's 300-400 people deep or more in certain areas. And little children especially have gotten swept away. So I can remember years where they didn't have barricades, y'all. And so now they have the barricades, and they're doing the best that they can with the technology that is there at hand right now, presently. There is nothing else. Hey, Tim, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. I know Bo is probably on, and I'm on too at my regular time tonight because I've been absent for a couple of weeks, so I needed to come on and say a few things. But thank you for tuning in, Tim. But y'all, New Orleans does a hell of a job with crowd control. People from all over train down there, right there in the Crescent City, in the deep, dirty South, for crowd control. A lot of state troopers in different various states and organizations come down there, and they do training. Also, they have people that come and that will go and train others in crowd control and other things, and especially the mounted police. You want to see them part of fucking crowd, you get to fight in that crowd in Mardi Gras if you want to see the mounted pull your ass right on out of there. But I say that to say this. It's I really appreciate it. I'm hoping to catch him before he goes off in the next 20 minutes, but we'll see. Anyway, it's just amazing. And I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna stand firm on what I have to say as far as New Orleans and Mardi Gras is still one of the safest free for all fucking shows that anybody could ever go to. Now, has it changed over the years? Yes. Has this world changed over the years? Yes, y'all. Has it gotten more dangerous over the years? Fucking right. Every goddamn where is dangerous these days. It's a mean old fucking world we living in this day and time. But as far as people doing something, maliciously to somebody or whatever, I think it was an accident, because accidents do happen. And sometimes there are injuries. Sometimes riders get drunk and fall off the fucking floats, break their arm, one man 1 year broke his neck, paralyzed. Does he still ride? As far as I know, if he's still living, because he was riding. But accidents, y'all, will happen and will continue to happen, But I'm gonna leave that right there. As far as New Orleans need to do a better job, then fuck, don't come telling me nothing, and you ain't never been to motherfucking Mardi Gras and you don't know shit about it. You just read an excerpt from fucking newspaper somewhere or on some fucking news channel that don't know shit. Get to the thick of things and get down there and see for your own fucking self. You'll be mesmerized, and you'll be amazed at just how smooth shit flows. There's thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of people. Sometimes I've been down there in years where there was 250 to 500,000 people that came into that city for what they call the big weekend of Mardi, leading up to Fat Tuesday or Shrove Tuesday, which was yesterday. And it's unfucking believable. You know, we already had 1 million people. Then here you 500,000 people or 250,000 people come and descend on the city. I mean, it would just be unbelievable. But still in all, things was in an orderly fashion and continue to be in an orderly fashion as much as they could be for the amount of fucking people that would be in attendance. So I'm going to say it again. Don't come telling me or don't come saying no crazy shit. Then you don't know anything. You don't know what you're talking about. Now I'm going to move right on into this. The title of my live tonight, y'all. The title of my live tonight is not if, but when. For those of you who don't know, the CDC has issued the stern warning that the coronavirus at some point will impact the United States. It's not a question of if anymore, it's when. But what I want to say to all of my listeners and all of my subscribers and all of my up and coming subscribers and future subscribers and just future listeners, I want you all to know that I've been preaching this since I've had a YouTube channel, and people that know me out in public and what have you, they know that I've been saying the same thing for years. If you are already ready, there's no need to get ready because you're already ready. I've been saying the same thing over and over. Be prepared. Like a good Boy Scout or a good Girl Scout. Be prepared. Okay? I cannot make it any plainer. I cannot make it any simpler than that. I just can't. I don't know what else to say. For the simple reason, if you have a plan, then you could always put that plan into action. Even though sometimes your plan might have to be deviated from a little bit, but the core plan or the basis of the plan, you could still take that plan and delete or add some things and still keep the plan, the overall gist of the plan together, y'all. And what I'm saying to you today or this evening is surely sooner or later, some of you must have known that sooner or later there was going to be a pandemic that would affect the United States of America, whether it be intentional or unintentional. Again, whether it be intentional or unintentional, sooner or later, some shit was gonna break out. Sooner or later. Okay? Now, this has the potential, and it's damn near a pandemic now, but they're trying to use subtle words and softer words for the simple reason they don't want fucking mass pandemonium. And I don't want it either. You don't want mass pandemonium. You don't want people running through the streets. You don't want people running through the fucking drugstores and the grocery store. Y'all don't want this. Y'all ain't ready for that at all. Okay? And the reason I said be prepared, but do not panic. The reason I say be prepared, but do not panic, because in a panic, you're no good to yourself, nor are you any good to your family members that are looking to you for guidance. Perhaps you the mother. Perhaps you the mother and the father. Perhaps you the father and the mother. Perhaps you know, the kid taking care of your parent. You know, or your mother's trying to work and support y'all, and then you got your little part-time. Look, if you panic, you're not any good to yourself. Nor are you any good, again, to the people who are looking to you for guidance during a shit hit the fan situation. So I'm asking y'all to try to keep it as calm as you can. Even if you want to like go, oh, fuck, and take off to the grocery store or take off to the goddamn nearest drugstore. I'm going to tell you now. I told you already to buy a few little things here and there so that you have a couple of gallons of bleach. Okay? You have some hand sanitizer on hand that you're not going to necessarily run out of. You have some bandages. You have some alcohol. You have some peroxide. You have some gloves, some rubber gloves. You have some particle masks. But I'm going to tell you tonight about particle masks. Particle masks are fine. However, if you don't have a cold, all right, and there's nothing wrong with your respiratory system, there's no reason to wear a particle mask at this point. Now, if you have a cold or if you have bronchitis, like I think I might be getting the beginning stages of, which I'm going to make sure I go get it in check tomorrow, if the Lord says the same. In the morning shall I rise. Then I would wear a particle mask. Now, I have regular particle masks. I also have a respirator. Now, I will only wear this respirator if there's a chemical agent and I got to put that son bitch on, because respirators are no joke. I already have an issue with my lungs. It's a birth defect. I was born, my lungs are smaller than they should be. They're healthy, they're fine, they're just smaller than they should be. So since they're smaller than they should be, then there's things that will naturally occur with someone who has something of that nature. But I say that to say this. The N95, I believe it's the N95, y'all. The N95 mask is the best mask that you can buy as far as a particle mask or a dust mask. But when you run down to what's that place? Not Eckert's. I'm telling my age. When you run over there to Walgreens, or you go over there to Kroger, or you go to Rite Aid, or I don't know, Drug Town, or wherever you get your shit from, okay? Whether it be online, offline, I don't really give a damn. But wherever you get it, and you go get that N95 face mask, first off, it's one of the best masks that you can buy as far as some temporary blocking out the majority of stuff. Surgical masks ain't worth shit because they're not going to fit and seal tight enough for things to keep out things that are already in the air. Do you understand what I'm saying? Stuff that's already in the air, a surgical mask, okay, or a regular Dollar Tree particle mask, dust mask, will not seal off or block out things that are already airborne in the air, those particulates that are already running through the air. They will seep in because they do not fit tight enough. The N95 face mask has to be fitted to the person. I don't give a damn if it's self-serve and the motherfuckers are hanging on the rack on a peg hook. I don't give a damn about that. Now, I'm trying to tell y'all something, so listen the fuck up, okay? Those need to be fitted properly. Now, I'm going to suggest, Now, I'm not going to tell y'all to go bombard the fucking fire department, because in some towns, you only got a volunteer fire department. Okay, I'm not knocking these people, but they got shit to do. Okay, then the fire department might not be there all day, every day, like some fire departments in other towns and counties or whatever. Okay, but some of them should be able to tell you or help you properly seat that mask on your face. Okay, now, or at least go over some steps on how to seat it properly on your face and how to make sure it has properly made a seal around your nose and your mouth and a little bit under the chin. Now, I don't know what else to tell you. The fire department, perhaps, if you go to the hospitals, they may just turn you away, because right now they booming because it's influenza season. It's hell, we got coronavirus, we got pneumonia, we got everything, plus the emergencies that's going through. So I don't know, they may have to turn you away. They may not have time for that. I would say watch some YouTube videos, but you see, let me tell you something, those masks are expensive. And if you get the wrong information about how to properly seal that mask on your face so that it will keep out those particulates that are flying through the air that you are trying to keep out of your body, you may get the wrong information at a cost to you that could potentially be deadly. Okay, YouTube is great, don't get me wrong, but how are you going to discern, and you've never had one of those masks before, never put one of those on, how are you going to discern whether or not they're doing it correctly? You might have to look at 10 or 15 videos and then rule out, well, they didn't do that, this one did this one did the same, that one didn't do that one didn't do any of those. So, I mean, you get what I'm saying? So the best place to try to do something is perhaps the Red Cross, somewhere that gives CPR courses all the time, not once a year, because they may be rusty, or it may be somebody else that just got a CPR certification and up there holding the damn class. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm just giving you some examples. Perhaps the Red Cross, perhaps the YMCA, and perhaps the fire department. Those are the three places that I myself personally, if I needed help or didn't understand how to properly seat that mask, and I just went there and bought it off the shelf, because buying it off the shelf, never taking it out the pack, and never properly learning how to put it on your face and seal it is not going to do you a bit of good. You might as well walk out with all the shit that hit the fan, walk out without a mask on, because it ain't going to do you a bit of good. It's giving you a false sense of protection when it's not protecting you, because you're using it incorrectly. So be mindful of that. Okay, I just want you to be mindful of that. Another place, perhaps, is to go down to the CDC, perhaps, or an epidemiologist, or a virologist, or to a medical school that has epidemiologists and virologists of those sorts. They may be able to give just a brief lecture. Your county health agency or your parish health agency, those places should be able to assist you if needed. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, moving along, y'all, as far as medications, if they say, okay, we got a pandemic, everybody We're going to hunker down in place. Everybody has to stay indoors in their houses. That means you can't go out to Walmart. You can't run to Kroger. You can't run to Food Lion. You can't run, to the Fiesta Mart. You can't run and go get your script filled. You can't run to BJ's or Costco's or Sam's. So what do you need to do? You need to already have a few of each medication that you take already out and marked what the fuck they are, so you don't take the wrong shit, aside from what you normally take each day. Have that somewhere safe and secure in a cabinet, in an area that's not hot or cold, that stays pretty much the same, in a dry place somewhere, preferably somewhere where children cannot get it or get into it or find it or whatever. Maybe in a lockbox. I don't know. Whatever your situation is, you have to tailor what I'm giving you to suit your needs. But all I'm saying is have some of your medication in case you cannot go outside of your house. Especially life-sustaining drugs, blood pressure medicine, heart medication, asthma medication, diabetes medication, stroke medication, whatever it is that's life-sustaining. Okay? And if you go without that medicine, it could potentially be deadly for you. Please have some of that on hand. I'm not saying panic, and I'm not saying go to your doctor and ask your doctor to give you 125 days supply, 120 days supply of medicine or something. I'm just saying, like I tell people, you never know. Each month, take you out 2 pills or 3 pills. You'd be surprised in the course of 6 months or a year, you have a nice little supply of meds to last you 30 days or 60 days. Then when and if you ever have to go into that stash, and I'm not saying not go into it, because you're going to need to replenish it and refresh that stash every now and again. But if you need to, if you had to cut that blood pressure pill in half, that's better than having no blood pressure pill in your system at all. Okay? If you had 45 days, you had collected a supply, and they wanted everybody to be in-house for 20 days or 21 days, or let's just say 14 days. Some of us only have, and some of us take our prescriptions down to the last itty bitty zero and then call up the pharmacist and say, oh, I need a refill on. Okay, well, it'll be tomorrow because our truck didn't come in and we don't have that particular one. Oh, Lord, I need my medicine. Well, do you have any at home? No, I'm all out. You should never, ever run out of your medication completely, because you never know. We are in a technology world. Computers fail. Things happen. They may not even be able to get their system up. If they can't operate their system, they can't give you no pills. They don't know who the fuck you are. Just know what I'm saying, y'all. And it may sound funny, but I'm just stating the facts. So if you haven't started any of this, start today or start it tomorrow. Because there's still time to do whatever it is you need to do. Have a plan. In your plan, if you have children, or if you keep your grandchildren, or if you have custody of your grandchildren, or whatever you do, whatever your situation is, and it involves someone other than you, and they say, well, we got to close schools. We're going to need people to work from home. Children can't go to school. Or we're going to close these schools, and we're only going to have these schools open a half a day. And we're only going to let these factories go to work for a half a day. And then we're going to have a plan. Who's going to keep your children? You're not going to be able to run out necessarily to the daycare. Okay? Is the girlfriend, can she keep them? Can your auntie keep them? Somebody, can you move somebody in right quick? Can you go to your mama's house? Does your mama have an extra room where all you and your children safe up in the house and all y'all just get in that one room? You got to make some pallets on the floor. Y'all know what the fuck a pallet is on the floor. Y'all know. You know, pull some damn mattress off the bed, whatever you got to do. But you got to have a plan. Have some money. I'm not saying you have to have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in your house, but have some money so that if something needed to be done and you was trying to get out of town, you and your children or you and your loved ones or whoever's in your immediate household, have some cash on hand. Whatever little bit you got, have something. And then you got to worry about the rest later. You know, but have something that you don't touch. That's your emergency on hand in the house where nobody knows where it's at but you, maybe your wife, maybe so, you know, have something, y'all. I don't carry cash. I'm always gonna have me some cash. I don't give a fuck. Long as cash to me is still king. You heard me? Because I can buy some shit with cash. You heard me? I can buy some stuff with cash. You be surprised what I can buy with cash. You can buy a whole lot of something with cash. Okay? Cash talks. Sure does. If I needed to, I could buy a whole lot of shit with some cash. Yeah. If I needed, you know, some safety or I needed some ammo or I needed some of this or I needed some of that, I got some cash. Let me tell you something. Motherfuckers will come up off of it for some cash. Yeah, they will. Now, you might not be wanting to pay that price, but that's going to be up to you and them to bargain or whatever y'all got to do. But have some cash is all I'm saying. I can't tell you how much because everybody know what's in their pocket. Everybody know how much they get paid or whatever your monthly allotment is or whatever. Your retirement, whatever. But have some cash. So if you got to get the hell, try to keep your gas tanks on full. If you can't do full, do half a tank. If you can't do half, you know, I don't know what else to say. But try to do half. If you can't, you know, if you can do a little bit more than half, try to take it to 3/4. If you can't just stretch it to that full, then try to do 3/4. 3/4 of a tank, especially some average cars these days, and you get you somewhere. You get you the hell out of that town. Get to another town right quick somewhere. And once you know what I'm saying, you got to think it out. And then you figure out what you're going to do once you know what I'm saying, you got to figure it out as you go sometimes. I'm just saying. Don't panic though. You're no good to yourself or anyone else. Don't panic. Sit down and think about it. Maybe call a family meeting. Say, hey, y'all, you know, this shit is getting real. Y'all, you know, this is what I project. You know, this is what I want us to do. Or this is what I propose that we do. You know, and work on it collectively. But now I'm not saying work on a fucking plan for 2 or 3 months. I ain't talking. No. You know, within 24 hours, 36 hours, you should have a little plan. You know, and how you going to implement your plan and what needs to be done. And if you got grown children or grown people in your house or whatever, who's going to be responsible for what or whatever, make sure that person is going to be responsible. Because you know how we can be. Well, child, you know, I didn't get paid last. Well, child, my check was a little short. I ain't got money for no walk. Y'all know who y'all working with. You know what you're working with already. I don't need to tell y'all this. I just don't, y'all. All I'm saying is do you. Do what you got to do and try to stick to your plan. Any decent plan can be altered at any time and still be held together by the core parts of that plan. And it doesn't take much to get you a little plan of action together. It could be very simple. It does not have to be anything complex. You know, like I keep telling you, each time that you go, you grocery shop once a week, twice a month, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every 6 weeks, however you do. Purchase you a few more things, you know, just in case, like little non-perishables. things that you can stomach to eat. Okay. And then you got to worry about when it run out. Well, okay, well, we're going to have to do something else. That's all I'm saying. And that's why I say don't panic. Now it's not the time to panic. Now it's the time to keep your head on your shoulder. But make sure that your head is on a swivel. You got to look all around. Frontwards, backwards, left, right, side to side, quarter turn, half turn, however you can do it. Keep the head on a swivel. You got to think about some things that may occur. What if? You got to think about some things that you may not want to think about. Go ahead on and think about it now so that you can formulate in your mind. That way you don't get caught with, damn, I'm facing blah, blah, blah. Damn, now what I'm going to do? I already have it in the back of your mind. Well, I can do this, this, or this. See, people that usually have plans, y'all, and people who usually try to be somewhat prepared if they can, or even they don't have to be 100% prepared, but at least they have some kind of little plan that they could kind of implement. Those people are more apt to survive pretty much anything than a person that's ill-informed, uninformed, unprepared. And I'm going to ask that each and every one of you, if you if you think, y'all, that Facebook is Newsline 9 or Channel 5 or Fox News, you are mistaken. Okay? Facebook is not Eyewitness News. I don't give a damn how much emphasis you put on Facebook. It is not the news. Okay? The CDC, the World Health Organization, and the Health and State Department located in your state and your county should be able to give you pretty much all the information that you need to know about what's going on and what is changing day by day. Okay? I'm not knocking Facebook, but there's a lot of people, y'all, that believe in Facebook and believe in posting inaccuracies and believe in inciting fear mongering. And a lot of it comes off of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not so much, but Facebook and Instagram and all these other crazy places. You know, so please do not invest a whole lot in some of the things that you read here that's popping up, that's going to pop up, or going to continue to pop up on Facebook. All right. If you do, make sure that you are checking it out through credible sources, such as, again, the CDC, the World Health Organization, and your county and state health department in your state and your city or your town or county that you live in. Those three major organizations should be able to guide you or to tell you what is going on. Okay? They can't lie. Now I'll say this, you might not like what they have to say, but it is what it is. All right, y'all, moving right along. This is going to be a little bit longer show than I had anticipated, but I have talked a little longer on some things on this one thing, and it's important that I get it out because I want people to understand this is not to be taken lightly, nor is it something to incite fear in you. It is to get you in the mood in order to get off your asses and figure out what you can do, what you're not going to be able to do, what you can do, what you need to do, what you have already on hand. Is it something that you do need to beef up a little bit? Is it something else that you need to purchase or whatever? And go ahead on and do that. Don't go overboard. Don't run your shopping carts over. Keep the shopping carts light as possible. You know, purchase the food items that you would normally purchase. Make sure that you're buying snacks. Make sure that you're buying chocolate. Make sure that you're buying some things that are going to give you energy. And definitely you want to have some vitamins on hand. If you're not already taking them, then you do need to take some vitamin C or D or a multivitamin. So you might want to start that. You know, just do some things that you've been meaning to do anyway, but just hasn't yet. You know, and then add in those couple of other things that I did mention, and you should be okay. Just don't forget your basic shit. Clorox, cleaning supplies, some paper towels, some toilet paper, some alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. What's the other stuff? Shit, I just forgot about it. Peroxide, you know, antiseptic, you know, some gauze, some bandages, whatever, you know, Neosporin. If you don't have any, go buy you some cheap shit. I don't care how you do it, what you do. Just get you a few things, you know, just to have on hand. Every house, every apartment needs to have some basic shit anyway, okay? Once you got your basic stuff, you pretty much covered. You know, particle mask, I'm going to leave that up to y'all. I mentioned the mask. Take it for what it's worth. If you can't afford that, get you some other kind of mask or whatever. You know, even a bandana wrapped around you is better than nothing. Absolutely nothing at all. You know, staying home when you don't feel well, staying home when you're sick, staying home when you have a cough. You know, keep your children at home. You know, because that's how germs are spread. I mean, you'd be surprised. Close contact, going in places that are crowded with a whole bunch of people. This year, I didn't go to Mardi Gras. I was going to go. And I'm like, no, I better not. That's all right. You know, several reasons. One, it was just gonna be too entirely many people. We got enough shit going on. We got the flu. We got enough. And and now it's like the day after Mardi Gras, going into the next day, Thursday, and I'm wheezing and hoarse and got a little bit of a cough and don't feel the greatest. So imagine had I gone down there, there's no telling what I would have come back with. You know, all those people in that crowd, you know damn well everybody ain't 100% healthy. People coughing, sneezing, and it was raining, it was cold, it was hot, it was cold, then it was raining, then it was cold, then it was hot, then it was cold. I mean, yeah. I mean, and I'm diehard parade goer. Fucking water don't stop us. Rain don't stop. Cold don't stop. Snow don't stop. We look. I've been out for a parade, y'all, and the floats was whizzing by me because they didn't want the floats to get ruined because all that crepe paper and stuff, beautiful roses and stuff, was gonna fall off the floats and shit. They were throwing boxes of throws off the floats just to get rid of them because they had waited all year to throw their stuff. And I mean, man, but people was out there. It was pouring down raining like cats and dogs. I mean, I'm talking about rain, like buckets of rain and pouring out. I was out there like it was liquid sunshine. Literally, the floor. I was trying to take pictures of the floor. Zoom, zoom, turning that car on. Goddamn, Napoleon and goddamn St. Charles Avenue. I was so bad. I said, God damn it, I can't take a picture. Flows while we running down it. I said, what the hell? I never forget that. But yeah, I'm die hard parade goer. If it rain, it don't matter. I wear my cowboy boots, my combat boots, whatever. And look at here, keep it rolling. I'm dressed. I got a couple layers of clothes on. I got a slicker suit on. Look at here, son, come out, I'll peel some of that shit out, roll it up, and keep on going. But yeah, y'all, it's been real. There's a couple other little things I'm gonna touch on, y'all. People asked me a couple of weeks ago about Snoop Dogg bashing Snoop Dogg and 50 Cent and a couple of other people bashing Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey ass. I told y'all a long time ago I stopped fucking with Oprah Winfrey over 20 years ago. And you know, um you have to sometimes you have to discern what's good for you and what's not. And I don't dislike the person herself, the lady. I don't like what she does and what she stands for. They could say what they want, fine. I don't care. Gayle King is, she's nothing but a patsy to me and what I call a mammy. And they're always asking these questions and they're always going after the black male or a black female or somebody who doesn't deserve to be, in the spotlight. And this man wasn't even cold good. And she done got her ass up there, keep pressing the issue, keep asking this question. That wasn't the time. It just wasn't the time. And Snoop, got a little bit of a temper and he said some things that, he shouldn't have said. Regrettably, I think that he was sincerely he regretted it, and his mama got him together. Which any parent that's living or whatever that knows right from wrong, go tell their child right from wrong, And he bowed down to his mama, and he made it right. He was the bigger man, and he apologized. Now Gayle King still ain't offered no damn apology, not one that I've heard that I've been satisfied with anyway. But like I told somebody yesterday, I said, "You actually think she's gonna fucking apologize? Fuck no. What for? Because then she already said she didn't think she did anything wrong. Then she spin it back on the network, of course. Now I don't know. These people tend to do all kinds of things. Now it could have been the network pushed her ass and told her you better do this, this, and this. Yes, a master. Yes, a master. And she did it, and then the network came back to her when she started getting all the repercussions. Said, "Go ahead on and throw it back on us. We'll handle it. We'll handle it." But then the black folk handle that ass, So I mean, Gayle King, she don't even fit in. She don't fit in the black race. She don't fit in the white race. So she don't fit in anywhere. I don't care for her. Never did. And I don't care for Oprah Winfrey. So, I mean, that's just my sentiments. But this is what you get, when you lose touch with reality and you lose touch of where the fuck you come from, and the skin color, the skin tone, not in your fucking palm of your hand, but on the motherfucking backside of your hand. You forget, Some people forget. Some people never forget, but others, they don't think they black. They don't think they had, they could treat you like white folks or whatever. And that's fine and dandy, but I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real. The other thing is Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. And I'm going to close out on this one. Y'all know I don't make it no secret that I'm gay. Been gay all my life. And from 3-4 years old, I knew fucking something was different about me. Something was different. Okay, by the time I got to pre-K, something was different because I just liked, and I always liked older women. I had a big time crush on my fucking what was it? You call it it wasn't pre-K then, it was called Head Start. I had me a crush on the Head Start teacher. Then by the time I got to kindergarten, I had a crush on her. And then the first grade, I had a crush on Miss Guillory. This is a beautiful woman, boy. She had these like real hairy like legs, and she wore these stockings. And oh man, that woman was beautiful. I thought she was beautiful anyway. I had a big time crush on her. I never really, I always was into a little bit older, so I never really messed around with the kids per se. It was somebody that was always like They weren't at my school. If I was in like elementary, hell, I probably liked somebody that was in junior high, or what y'all know now as middle school. Um, and hell, by the time I got to high school, it was Katie Bartado. It was Katie Bartado, y'all. Katie Bartado. Cause look at here. Oh man, they had the beautiful women. Oh man, I could run through them. Ooh, Lord. And I've always been mature and I've always carried myself a certain way. And my zodiac sign, born under the sign of Cancer, is I'm true to my sign, true Cancerian, true to my sign. When you find me as a friend, I'm a friend for life. Don't fucking cross me. Very, emotional, a lot of emotion, emotional when need be, love hard. But hell yeah, I knew someone right. Now, had I been able to transition then, oh my God, yes indeed. Without issues or, for them explore, doing exploratory surgery and all that craziness, you know. Oh yeah, without a doubt. But that is what I call unconditional love. Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade is showing their child unconditional love no matter what he or she wants. And I think he wants to be a girl. So they're showing them unconditional true love and support. Now, I think the child is 12. So in a few years, time will tell, because time will tell. Sometimes um, I met through the years when I was young other kids who like the same sex, but then and I'm going to say this, not because they were beat down or not because they were ostracized or um ridiculed so much and disapproved of so much that they miserably went with the heterosexual way, even though they knew that they were going to be miserable the whole time. No, they actually um, decided themselves. Now, Pando's parents back then, no. Did they understand? No. Did my mother understand? No. Did my mother perhaps think it was just a phase? Yes. Did my father accept me unconditionally? Yes. Did my mother accept me unconditionally? Yes and no. Yes, she accepted me unconditionally because she loved me no matter what, and would have killed anybody for me, over me, had they done me something or anything of that nature. However, it would took her about 6 months, maybe a year, to um, start understanding that I was not just going through a phase, that the GI Joe and the Tin Soldiers and the NASCARs and the other things that I collected and stuff and loved playing with just wasn't going away. And the older I got, the more they became more prevalent in my room than those dolls that I put up on that shelf and stayed in those damn boxes that they kept buying me. And those tea sets, beautiful porcelain tea sets. I wish I had them still, but no. So I say to Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade, keep on doing what you're doing. They need more parents loving and accepting like those two. And time will tell what the young lady or young man decides he or she wants to do with their self. Um, I will say again, an ill-informed or uninformed motherfucker is a dangerous motherfucker. Badass Boosie or whatever, and you from Louisiana, we got some crazy motherfuckers in Louisiana, yeah. Boosie, that was inappropriate and just downright ignorant for you to get on there and talk about don't cut the child's penis off and all that crazy. Them people, they didn't mention nothing about cutting no child's penis off. They hadn't mentioned no damn gender reassignment surgery, no hormone replacement therapy. None of that. I mean, I don't know where this person was getting this. I'm like, Lord, maybe he need to go back to the jailhouse. and learn something else, because I'm not understanding where you got that from. But that just goes to show you how ignorance is bliss. That ignorance, could take over people. When you're uninformed or ill-informed, you say anything, literally anything, and you're gonna make a whole video. First off, these people, child, and what they do with their child is their fucking business. As long as they're not abusing the child and doing something ungodly to the child, that's up to them. But I know one thing: that child is happy, seems happy. I know I was happy. And I'm talking about the late 60s, early 70s. I was happy. And on up until I got grown. Happy. 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 I'm just sorry that my mother did not live long enough to see me graduate college the first time. She did make it to see me graduate high school, and then 20 some days later, she was gone. But I say that's what unconditional love looks like, y'all. And I just admire them for that, and stick by your child or your children, because it's already hard enough being an OG out here at 55. I could tell you some things, and I could tell you sometimes people are still ugly to me to this day, or they look at me a certain way. I'm not fucking bothering you. I'm not bothering anybody or whatever. Some women so insecure, some men, they insecure. I'm not trying to take your woman, man. If she for the taking, no, hey, I might could get her. You must not be doing what you're supposed to do. I don't know. But I mean, that's the farthest thing from my mind. I'm sitting in a restaurant, minding my own business, eating alone. And you keep staring at me. Because the lady, hey, how you doing? Hello. Maybe she thought she knew me. Fuck, I don't know. I know a lot of people. But you'd be surprised how people will treat you. So I admire parents who can be open-minded and accepting and loving to their children, no matter what they decide and what journey they decide or what path they decide to take as far as their sexuality. Because again, it's a mean old world out here. And don't think for one iota of a second that there's still a lot of murders that go on in the gay community. Just because you're gay, just because you don't look like someone wants you to look, or you act a certain way, or you seem different, they take your life, And then let's not talk about the trans community, where you have some of these men that are already cowards, and they are already tipping out on their wives or their girlfriends or whatever, and they're having big time sex with these trans people and then killing them. I don't know if they get off on that. I don't know what their problems are, but it's just a lot going on. So I am happy to see that people are accepting of their children no matter what. And that's all I have to say about that. Well, y'all, it is 11:08. I've been on now for an hour and 8 minutes. And it is time to wind it up and wind it down. Don't forget to go to Unapologetic Tea Time with PG.com. www.unapologetic-time with PG.com. Over there, you will find helpful stories and tips and all kinds of information concerning the coronavirus, concerning finance, concerning savings, concerning money saving apps. You name it, I got it over there. So please don't hesitate to check me out on my blog at www.unapologetic-time-with-pg.com. And it's been real. It's been great, y'all. And I'm about to get up out of here. There is someone however, that may be on this vlog or this live, or who may come on this live and hear me till the end, they may need to know that they are loved. And I'm going to say to you, I love you. And just know that no matter how tough things may seem, that tomorrow is a brand new day. You get to start over and you get to keep on working at your dreams and making them a reality. Peace out. Bye now.